If you want to have high self-esteem, gain people's respect, and raise your value in the eyes of other people, then there's one thing that you absolutely need to start doing yesterday, and that is setting strong boundaries. I used to be so bad at this. In fact, I've made a few videos now, I think about 4 or 5, talking about how I used to be a people pleaser with really low self-esteem. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step game plan that I implemented to help me build strong boundaries in my life and start communicating myself more assertively. And if this is your first time here, hello mate, how you doing? My name is Oliver, I'm a life and dating coach, and on this channel I make content related to psychology, self-improvement, and relationships. So let's jump right in, shall we? First of all, let's talk about boundaries. What even is a boundary? A personal boundary is a psychological or emotional limit that you set for yourself, which gives you a sense for what you will accept from other people and what you won't accept. It's a way of establishing a sense of self-respect and self-protection. It's a way of communicating what your limits are, what your needs are, the way you will be treated, the way you absolutely won't be treated. Here is the game plan that I used to integrate and implement strong boundaries in my life. Step 1, I want you to identify your values and your goals. What's important to you? What's your aim here? Think of a situation where your boundaries are being disrespected commonly. Maybe in an intimate relationship, maybe at work. I want you to really think about what it is that you're actually trying to achieve here. Think about what's important to you. If you're at work and you want to have a good time at work, you don't want to be stressed about interpersonal squabbles and shit. Yeah, I did say the word squabbles. It is medieval England apparently. Then maybe you want your colleagues to respect you. Okay, that's a goal of yours. Another example might be, in your relationship, you might feel comfortable and safer in the relationship if you have time alone. Step number 2, know your patterns. When you are disrespected, when your boundaries are crossed, what habits do you engage in? Do you smile and laugh it off? If someone says something that pisses you off, do you choose to ignore it or act like you didn't hear it? Do you say to people, it's no problem, even when it definitely was a problem? Write about this and uncover what your patterns are so you can catch them in the moment and reverse them. Step number 3, I want you to define your boundaries. We can break our boundaries down into 2 sections, and that is our limitations and our needs. Think about what makes you comfortable, what gives you a sense of safety and calm. Think about what makes you uncomfortable, stresses you out, makes you feel disrespected. And step number 4, communicate them clearly and assertively. I want you to use I statements to communicate your needs, limitations, and preferences, but without criticizing or blaming someone. Be firm, be confident, but also be respectful and empathic to the other person. Here are a few boundary phrases to give you an idea for what that might actually sound like in real life. Hey, I don't like it when you guys gossip around me. It makes me feel uncomfortable, and to be honest, I don't really want to be a part of it. Hey, I'd appreciate it if you kept these calls to under an hour as we agreed. I've got other stuff to do. Hey, I borrowed you a tenner a few weeks ago, and it really stresses me out when I have to ask you for it. So if I lend you money in future, I'd appreciate you giving it back earlier. I know you're feeling anxious right now, but I'm not in a place to help you with this. But I'm happy to talk about it later. See if you can come up with any ideas for any of the other boundaries I mentioned. Feel free to change the wording in a way that actually feels more natural to you. If these boundary statements feel foreign, alien, or uncomfortable to you, it's a sign that you probably don't stick up for yourself enough. And step number 5, stand your ground. You will be tested on boundaries. You will be tested on this. I can assure you of that. Expect it. Sit with it. If you start setting boundaries, especially with people who are not familiar with this behavior from you, you will get some pushback. Sit with these intense emotions of guilt, of shame. This is why meditation is also really important, so you can actually familiarize yourself with negative emotions without trying to run from them. Resist the urge to go back on your boundary, over-accommodate the other person, sugarcoat, or, for God's sake, apologize when you've done nothing wrong. Remember, you do not need to fix their feelings. If they're having their feelings just because you communicate the boundary, let them have their feelings. You don't need to. It's not your responsibility to make everything smooth and nice. That's not up to you. And remember, you can always leave the interaction at any time. You always have that freedom. When you start implementing this stuff, here are a few signs that you might be starting to get it right. You'll notice that women are warmer, open, and way more receptive with you. You start feeling powerful. Your self-esteem goes through the roof. You start carrying yourself differently. You notice people starting to treat you with more respect. They notice you when you walk into the room. When you speak, they listen. They don't disrespect you, even in subtle ways. It's almost like it flips the script and people start seeking your validation and approval. Because you're nowhere near as anxious, you start actually enjoying time with people. And you actually start saying the shit to people that you used to fantasize about saying. That's probably the best bit. A lack of boundaries invites a lack of respect. Tragically, from other people, but most importantly, a lack of self-respect. If you want to stop being a people pleaser, then watch this video next, because I'm going to talk in this video about the one book that helped me the most. Thank you, mate. Stay courageous. Peace.